Good morning, Tempo Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Saturday, and the Tempo lost last night to the Las Vegas Aces. They've been swept by them for the season. This was the third game of the season with them. And honestly, this is the one that we got beat the worst by them. But that makes sense. We've only got 9 players, and a lot of our talent is not available. And their talent is still there for the most part, other than Smith being out because of her injury from the last game against the Tempo. They were full strength. Asia Wilson showed up and did play, even though she's questionable. And even Dana Evans showed up and returned to the lineup for them last night. Well, Isabel did show up for us. So I was very happy and proud of that, to see Harrison get out there and play hard for the Tempo in a meaningless game, and just trying to hold pride and build standards for this young franchise going into the future. So yeah, there's a lot of some good stuff from last night, but overall, it's tough when you're overmatched and you're going against the champs, and you're a new team, a first year team, and half your team is not available. That's basically what's going on. So a 20-point loss, is it a big deal in the scheme of things? Not really. No. I'll do the reaction to the Aces game after I go over the preview for the Phoenix Mercury game today. That's right. They are playing again today, and it's kind of madness, honestly. If you ask me, it's madness that they have to go and play already right away today. In some ways, the commentators on Ion's broadcast last night felt bad for the Tempo with all the injuries and the really bad schedule that the WNBA gave them this past week or so. 7 games and 12 nights at the end of the season when your $1 million backcourt is not available and all this other stuff. So tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, it will be another Tempo game in Phoenix against the Mercury. We'll go ahead and start going over that right now. Let's see what's going on with the injuries for the Tempo. It's probably not much different than yesterday. Brittany Sykes is out for the season. Marina Mabry is out right now. She'll be reevaluated after the FIBA break. Anissa Morrow shut down for the season, is not available. Niara Sabli is already back in Europe to get ready, I guess, to play for Germany. So she must be somewhat healthy if she's about to suit up for Germany. Julie Lemont is out because, well, she's in Belgium. She actually played in a game yesterday, guys, against Japan, and she had an okay stat line. She had like 6 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, something like that, 2 steals, 20 minutes of play for Belgium in their warm-up game against Japan. Julie was there, but you know who wasn't? Mai Yamamoto. Yeah, Julie, you've gone over there, but I guess her hierarchy of importance is the Aces and playing the WNBA for the Las Vegas Aces and not going to play for a Japan national team right away like that. But Julie's over there playing. Yeah, I know. I get cheesed about this kind of stuff, but I understand. In some ways, the Tempo are not a winning team, and, well, Belgium probably could be. But yeah, Julie played yesterday, just not in a Tempo jersey. That's why she went back early, is because she had the game like that. And Maria's on her way back already. She's gone back too. And she's getting ready to suit up for Team Spain. We've got, like, I guess 3 or 4 people that are going to be playing in the FIBA action. But the Aces have like five players that are going to be playing in the FIBA action, including Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Mai Yamamoto, and Talbot, who plays for Australia, and Sandy Brondello. But yeah, we're gonna have a few players playing. I guess Sabali, Conde, Alamon. I'm not sure if anybody else on top of that. Maybe Escada. I don't know. They were asking Escada last night, "Are you gonna go home?" And she said she's gonna see family. But I don't know if she's actually playing in any games. I don't know if Team Lithuania has her involved. Kia Nurse said she's going back to Hamilton, going home to just hang out with friends and play skee ball with her niece in the basement. That's her plans for this FIBA break. They were asking them after the game in the press conference with Sandy. Sandy had the briefest press conference pregame ever. She came in, sat down. They asked her one question, and they said, "Is that it?" Short and sweet, got out of there. It was a 30-second pregame interview. It was amazing. It was awesome. In some ways, she didn't want to answer all the questions about suspending contracts temporarily so that the women of the Tempo can go play for their FIBA teams. She didn't want to answer all that malarkey. She just sit down, give her a question. Oh, it's the same question y'all ask her every single press conference now. Sandy, how difficult has it been to play this season with all the injuries and be successful as a Tempo? Oh, wow. This question again. I wonder how many times she's heard that question this year. Seriously, she's heard that question every single interview pretty much since the middle of June. Seriously, this has been going on for 2 months of this question. Sandy, how hard is it to play with all the injuries, the hardships that you're going through, the extreme hardships? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. It's exactly like she always says when she answers questions. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Is that it? Is that all the questions? Yeah, that's it, Sandy. We don't need to ask anymore because we got the story from you guys. You're hurt. And this is difficult. We get it. We get it. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's it on the injury list for the Tempo. No Brittany, no Marina, no Anissa, no Niara, no Julie, no Maria. And Isabel is off the injury list as of now because she played last night. And I'm guessing she'll be able to play tonight. So it'll be the same 9 that we had last night. And I'm expecting the same starting lineup of Kiki Rice, Kia Nurse, Isabel Harrison, Laura Yesqueda, and Temi Fagbenle. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go over the box score for the Aces game very shortly. On the other side of things, let's check out the Phoenix Mercury and where they're at with their health right now. Kelsey Plum has made her debut for the Phoenix Mercury, but she's listed as out today for the game against the Tempo. She will miss her second consecutive game and her 5th in the last 6 games. She has a lower leg injury. And, well, she's played sparingly for her new team since the trade from the LA Sparks. But Kelsey Plum is officially out today, so she will not be playing tonight against the Tempo. Kalia Copper is showing up on the injury list this morning too, but she is probable. She has an ankle issue, but it looks like she's probably going to play. So the all-star add-on, Kalia Copper, should be available for the Mercury tonight. Let's keep going. Jovana Nogic. I believe she left the team a while back during the season, and she is just out of the league right now. She did kind of just take off on them, I think, to go back home to Europe, maybe because they were losing too much. Maybe there was some sort of problem or something, but Nogic is just disappeared from the WNBA at some point halfway through the season. Valerie Ayayi is on the injury list also. She has been suspended temporarily because she has gone home to play for World Cup. That's right. This is an expected transaction ahead of World Cup. And Maddie Westbeld could see more minutes because Ayayi is out going home to get ready for FIBA action, just like some of the Tempo players. So Valerianne is not available tonight. Kiara Linskins is also temporarily suspended and gone home for FIBA World Cup. She is there with Julie. In fact, her and Julie are together and played yesterday in the Belgian game because she's a Belgian lady. So yeah, Linskins is out for them. Marta Suarez is also she's out because of concussion protocol. Yeah, she was ruled out in the last game due to concussion protocol because she hit her head. It remains to be seen if she will continue to be sidelined for the concussion protocol. She has missed 3 games this year because of it. Just now, the last 3 games. We'll have to see if she's able to play tonight against the Tempo tonight. Marta Suarez. Yeah, so that's their injury list right there. Kelsey Plum is out. Kalia Copper is probable. The Jovana Nogic has gone somewhere. I don't know. Valerianne Ayayi is away for FIBA, as long with Kiara Linskins. And Marta Suarez is coming back from concussion protocol. So that's the latest lineup news for the Phoenix Mercury, who we will be playing today in Phoenix. Yeah, the ESPN matchup predictors are giving the Tempo a 26.5% chance to win. So a 1-in-4 chance to beat the Mercury today. The Mercury are one of the teams that are down near us at the bottom of the league right now. And much like Seattle, there is a chance we could beat them today, even with our short staff. It'll be tough. I mean, Alyssa Thomas is available, and they do have Copper probably too. So let's try and do this. They did release Dewana Bonner recently, and she has moved on to the Atlanta Dream this past week. So one of their big, powerful players, veteran Bonner, has left the team to go chase a ring with Atlanta Dream. So that has changed their team slightly at this point. 26.5% chance, according to ESPN, is what they're saying. Here's our referee crew for tonight's game in Phoenix. That's right. We go right to it. We just played Las Vegas. We got to play Phoenix tonight. This back-to-back is so inconvenient. I'm not going to lie. Kevin Fahey is our crew chief. He's one of my favorite WNBA refs. I'm not going to lie. Kevin Fahey has a way about him that's very friendly and fair. Like, I trust him for some reason. I don't know why. I get vibes from people, and my vibes from Kevin Fahey are good vibes. So, yeah, he is number 43. He is the crew chief for the game tonight. This crew is much more nicer than the crew in Las Vegas last night. Let's just put it that way. Angel Kent, Angelica Suffren, and Ken Jones aren't the friendliest crew, but this crew is pretty cool. Kevin Fahey, we are 2-3 with him this season, and that's actually a really good record considering the Tempo's record this year. Amy Bonner will be the referee tonight, number 31, and she's not a bad ref either. Amy Bonner, we're 2-2 with. We've actually got a 500 record with her. She's the best ref record-wise for us tonight. And then the umpire will be Kelsey Reynolds, the very fair Kelsey Reynolds, number 22. I like Kelsey Reynolds too. I think Kelsey Reynolds is a great WNBA rep, and I also see Kelsey Reynolds in the fall with the Raptors 905. So she's often reffing G League games also. But Kelsey Reynolds, 2-3, much like Kevin Fahey. So our collective record for the game tonight is 6-8. And I'll take that. That's not bad. A 6-8 record with the refs tonight. 6 wins, 8 losses with Fahey, Bonner, and Reynolds. That is our crew for tonight. The Raptors 905 schedule has come out, and we can talk about that a little bit today. I'm so happy to see the G League schedule out. It's interesting. They switched the in-season tournament part of the season at the beginning, the showcase, whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it at this point. From 16 games to 14 games. So there's only 14 games that are in the first half of the season in the cup part of the season. And then they'll have the regular season around after when the NBA Cup happens in the NBA. So, yeah, we got to watch out for that. They'll play each of 7 teams twice for 14 games, and their record in that will decide whether they will play in the group play for that cup. And last year, they got all the way to the finals and lost to Salt Lake City in the finals after running the gauntlet and going 16-0, I believe, last year, because I think it was 16 games last year. This year, it's only 14. They cut it down 2 games. But, yeah, 905 season, I'm excited for it. We're going to see the debut of Noah Lewis as the coach of the 905 this year. And we're going to have some new two-ways to watch, and Trey Jemison the second. Chucky Hepburn's back as another two-way. And Jaden Bradley, our second-round pick, is a two-way as of right now. And he will be involved in 905 this year, probably heavily, I would think. You got to go back to Elijah Martin, I'm probably sure, on that also. All right, let me check in with you guys. We'll do the reaction to the Las Vegas game. We've got the straight goods on goods, and we've also got the Redditors of the day, all the stuff we do on this channel. Let's see. Trevor J's the Commissioner Fund. Let's see what his words of wisdom are this morning for this Saturday. Good things come to those who wait. I've heard that one before. Better things come to those who believe, and the best things come to those who don't give up. What if you do all 3 of them? Then it should be that you get a good thing, a better thing, and then the best thing from doing all that. Okay. I like that. I like that. That's a nice words of wisdom. I think in today's society of immediacy and easy to get things so fast with Amazon and DoorDash and crap like that, you know, it's good to go back to the old school way and let something simmer and take a while to develop. Patience is a virtue. And I feel sad that society has less and less of it overall. because we have such an instant gratification society now. Just think, what if they take all that instant gratification away all of a sudden? How will people survive without being able to get everything right away, right now? Oh my gosh. I can't get my peaches as ripe as I want, Instacart. Oh my gosh. How bougie and uh spoiled society is at this point with things like that. You can get the peaches at different levels of ripeness. You know, that benefit and that luxury for people through that, there's somebody paying for it with getting paid too low and working crazy hours. And probably there's all kinds of climate footprint from Instacart's ability to give you your peaches at whatever ripe they are. Yeah, it sounds like shit bullshit. And it sounds like it's something that has a hidden cost for your convenience. Yeah, blessings to the Jones family. Yeah, good things come to those who wait. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, that's what we're saying right here. That's right. Trevor J's opinion on the game last night is this: the Tempo turned the ball over, so many times in the first quarter. It's so annoying watching them play like that. You can say it that way. That's one way of saying it from that perspective. But the truth is that I'm going to say you right now, this is what it is. Yeah, they turned the ball over, but do you know why? Because the Aces turned their defense up. They had improved themselves from last Sunday, when we played them in Vancouver on Sunday. Becky Hammond wasn't totally happy with how they played defense against us on Sunday. We can look at it from the tempo's perspective, but honestly, it's not the real tempo. So we shouldn't look at it from the perspective, oh, they turned the ball over. No, we should look at it from this perspective that Becky Hammond, a champion coach, told her team, I want y'all to not let them score over 20 points a quarter. And I want y'all to be aggressive on defense. And I want y'all to play together on defense. And that's what they said after the game. Becky Hammond very proud of the improvement that the Aces showed from the game on Sunday to the game last night, because they were connected on their defensive end and they were rotating really well, and they're getting their hand in the cookie jar and they were blocking shots. And those turnovers that you're talking about, Trevor, well, that's partly because of a very aggressive Las Vegas team doing very well on defense yesterday. They started right away. Shit disturbers, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, they're shit disturbers. They're going to get in the middle of it and they're going to cause problems for people to be able to pass. They were covering up very well, passing lanes, just harassing dribblers, doing all the hard work on defense and making it happen. I mean, they got so many steals and blocks on us yesterday from their hard work on defense. So you can go ahead and say it's the Tempo turned the ball over too much. I mean, that's granted, man. They're playing two developmental players and they're playing four rookies, out of 9 players in their lineup right now. They're playing 4 rookies out of 9 players in their lineup right now. There's going to be turnovers. So you can look at it from the perspective of the Tempo. I'm looking at it from Becky Hammond's perspective. And I'm saying that, well, Becky Hammond is kind of a tyrant and she's scary at times, but she loves her team very much and she wants to win. But she probably read them the riot act and said, y'all were too close to the Tempo on Sunday. Y'all, it was actually a close game right up until the end. You guys are better than this. You can't have this happen. When we play them on Friday, you better be all over them and not letting them do jack shit. And that's what they did. They executed coach's plan. Coach was smiling after the game. And Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray and whoever was sitting in that, it was Cheyenne Parker Tyus sitting in the interview room. They were smiling because the coach was pleased because they made the improvement and they're gearing up and getting ready for the playoffs and another run for a championship. There's different perspectives here. In some ways, we're not the normal Tempo. We can't blame them for having bad turnovers because they're not the normal Tempo right now. They're not the best version of it. That's right. Trevor Jace brought up something here that is my Raptors Redder of the day, and I want to talk about this very seriously. Once again, I'm going to reiterate this for Raptors freaks and for Raptors Nation, Fan Nation. Y'all need to listen to me very clearly when I talk about Rowan Barrett Jr. That's right. People are back again on the RJ trade wagon. All right. Let me dissect this once again. I'm going to go to Reddit real quick, and I'm going to read this. This is a Nintendo Nerd. Nintendo, you are the Raptors Redder of the day today, and he has a rant. People really want to trade RJ? Yeah. Yeah, this bullshit comes around every year. Listen, hang on, I'll tell you about it. He's saying this: so annoying to see RJ put in trade rumors after the postseason performance he had. All throughout the year, he was put in rumors. He got injured, and he seemed to be replaced by Brandon Ingram in terms of scoring potential. And then we got the playoffs. Brandon Ingram, while injured, was basically a no-show, and RJ picked up the entire slack. RJ averaged 24 points the entire playoffs. He had a game where he and Scotty combined for 66 points. 33 each, and he hit a game winner to bring the series to 7 games. Now, the Raptors didn't win the series, but everyone talks about the playoffs showed Scotty and CMB's potential. When RJ and Scotty had very similar stats, Scotty had more assists, but otherwise, RJ was the easy 1B option while Scotty was 1A, like Braun and Kyrie were in 2016. Not saying our guys are there yet, but you get my drift. Colin and Jacoby were easily the 2A and B each night, respectively. Trading a talent like RJ when he is shown to be a playoff riser and can play at an all-star level when healthy is huge. He shouldn't be traded for a bag of chips, i.e. Jalen Duren, who dropped off like a MFer when it mattered. Sabonis and Kyrie, who are old, and Miles Turner, who's a fraud in comparison. The only players that would be worth it would be someone like Jared Allen at center or an elite point guard upgrade. RJ plays like a dog, and any trade rumors I've heard about him are highly disrespectful. They better figure out the salary situation so we can keep the Maple Mamba a Raptor. This person is exactly on point. Nintendo nerd. Now, I'm going to say this right now. We all know why this happens. This has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with Bobby Webster. This has nothing to do with Raptors Nation to a degree, but Raptors Nation can turn into sheep, and Raptors nephews can follow U.S. storylines blindly in stupid-ass ways. Now, are we listening to the U.S. for anything right now? They just tried to rename the Great Lake that is south of Toronto. And why would we be listening to ESPN, Bleacher Report, or CBS News, or any of these fucking places that put out news or rumors or things about basketball? Remember this. I will remind everybody, RJ Barrett is from Toronto. RJ Barrett is playing for his hometown team, and this is Canada. And some people in the States hate this shit. They hate this shit, and especially New York fans who used to root for him in New York when Knicks fans. Now, remember, the media centers around from New York City. A lot of the writers, people like Stephen A. Smith, and people that are idiots on TV like Stephen A. Smith, and writers and people that cover the NBA are New Yorkers, and they're Knicks fans. So every year there's going to be some sort of dumbass rumors about RJ, and also quickly to a degree, because former Knicks get this kind of bullshit after they leave. God forbid that Quickly or Barrett have more success past the Knicks than when they were on the Knicks. And in some ways, the Knicks influenced media of Knicks lovers who covered the NBA from New York City will cover this in a biased way to sewer this and mess it up. They don't like that RJ is so happy in Toronto playing for his hometown team. They don't like that he's been successful and he hit a game winner, game 6 of the playoffs this past year. They don't like this. So they are being preemptive to try and rip it apart and put out bullshit rumors about they should trade him in this. Now, in some ways, they can make a case that with RJ's contract and the way it is, that in some ways they make a plausible case that the trading of RJ this season could happen, because it could. Let's be honest. Bobby Webster is looking to improve this team all the time as the head of basketball operations. But he's not going to do this frivolously or lightly. In fact, he could be really messing with something dangerous like a bomb if he does do something stupid with RJ and how he handles him. In fact, the best way to handle him is to get him under contract, take him at the discount, which he said he would take, and keep him in the Raptors uniform for many years to come. But we can't do this frivolously. We can't do this stupid. And the Redditor is right when he's saying we can't trade RJ for Miles Turner. That's bullshit. We can't trade RJ for some of these clowns that people are listing him for right now. These are rumors emanating from New York City that they don't give a shit if we get anything in return for RJ. They just want RJ out of Toronto because they don't like the hometown bonus that RJ gets here. And the fact that RJ sounds like their hero, Jalen Brunson, saying he'll take a hometown discount. So any kind of way, the convoluted mess and the perspective of sports media and the perception war and the rumors and the bullshit and the lying, the gaslighting, the misinformation, the disinformation. They're going to do it because that's their weapon at this point. People like Stephen A. Smith. So any Raptors fan that takes any trade rumors about any of our players from American sources like Jake Fisher, like Bleacher Report, like ESPN, you should stop listening to them. You should stop listening to them. And this noise gets loud right around this time of year. It's because these New York writers are starting to write this bullshit about their former Nick. So that's it. Pure and simple. If there's Raptors fans that fall for this shit and go like this, well, you're just as dumb as the people in Canada that follow Trump, following our enemies and falling for their bullshit. So don't fucking listen to these US companies, these US media companies. When they talk about the Toronto Raptors, nothing that they say is valid or interesting or worth it. If you really want news that's from the source, you got to listen to Michael Grange. You got to listen to Josh Bloomberg. You got to listen to Doug Smith. You got to listen to Blake Murphy. You got to listen to the people that are actually in the room with Darko and the players, and they actually are with them and around them all the time on the ground. Jake Fisher don't know jack shit from fucking New Jersey, that Brooklyn Nets fan. And you think that motherfucker is going to write anything that's helpful to the Raptors? No. He's going to write rumors that are not helpful to us, including that Yaka bullshit from last year's trade deadline. So just don't listen to them. Clean out that noise. And that's what I'd say to Nintendo Nerd too. It's like, look, man, it's disheartening. It's an information war. It's a perception war. It's our enemies trying to fucking weaken the bonds between a hometown hero and his hometown. And in some ways, the sad thing is fans that think they're real Toronto fans will turn on it and say, yeah, we want RJ off. Why is RJ on our team? Because they'll listen to this bullshit and they won't critically think about where the fuck is this information coming from and why should I even listen to it? Mic drop. That's it right there. That's it right there. Thank you to Nintendo Nerd for being the Redder of the day. And thank you for standing for Rowan Barrett Jr. because we all should. If you're a real Raptors fan, you do. That's right. Kaloy is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Kaloy JS. Carlo JS. That's right. Good to see you. Lebo Ganglian is back again. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning. Good morning. That's right. Blessed morning to everybody. That's right. Let's see what else y'all are saying in the chat here. We got Trevor J saying, so maybe we can beat the Mercury tonight. It'll be tough. I want to. It'd be nice to go off into the FIBA break feeling good with a W. Yeah, let's get a W. I like a dozen wins more than 11. I mean, what's the big deal? Tank artists will be saying, no, man, we can't win. We're trying to get Juju Watkins, man. What are you trying to do, man? Mess up our draft? Bro, it won't matter. And in some ways, Sandy hates losing. She said that last night. You know, the reporter asked her, it's like, Sandy, it seems like you guys are having a lot of fun while you're losing right now. And Sandy got pissed. Sandy almost took the report and said, I want to tell you right now that I do not like you losing at all. I hate this. But this season is the way it is, and we have to make light of it and get through it any way we can. So we're having some fun, even though, but don't get it twisted. I do not like losing, is what Sandy was saying to that reporter. Almost bit his head off asking such a crazy ass question like that. Yeah. She's like, I do not like losing. So let's not like losing tonight, and let's beat the Phoenix Mercury and sail off into the FIBA break sunset with a W. That's what I'd like to see. That's right. That's right. Lebo's saying this. It was a blowout, but however, the first quarter wasn't great at all. 10-point deficit. Second and third and fourth quarters were more competitive. 17 turnovers is nasty work. 11 second chance points isn't great. Yeah, that's all stuff. Yeah. I mean, look, once again, we're playing against a team that's a dynasty in the WNBA that has won multiple championships in recent years. And we are a first-year team with half our team available, and they have their best players available. They have Wilson, Young, and Gray. And, they're veterans. You can see Chelsea Gray do a little pass between her legs, like showboating like that. You can see Jackie Young working her ass off, getting after it and hitting shots. You can see the dominance of Asia Wilson and how she gets to her spot in the mid-range and just shoots over people. And she did that a lot last night. So, it's an overmatched matchup. In some ways, it's not totally fair, even with all our players, because they're that aptitude and that level of a dynasty. And we're a first year team just trying to even figure out who the hell we are, because we've been not able to figure out who we are this whole season because of injuries. So it's tough. It's tough. Nasty work. Yeah. But you know what? That's a good team. And that you watch how they play and you emulate and want to be like them. That's what I say right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying this. Good morning, fam, and happy back-to-back game day. Yeah, we got to keep going. 26.5% chance of winning still gives me hope. I know. If you throw it up in the air, it has a 1 in 4 chance of landing in the right spot, right? That's right. We need to watch Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, and Natasha Mack. Kelsey Plum's debut this week. She came out and played, yeah, earlier this week already, and I think she only played that one game. And yeah, she's not playing today though. So no Kelsey Plum today. That's right. Kelsey Plum's debut this week wasn't great, but it does not mean she won't go off tonight. Well, it does mean she won't go off tonight because she's not playing. She's on the injury list and she's out for tonight. No Kelsey Plum, that's for sure. Okay. Reggie's saying this. Rashid rehashed. Okay, rehashed Kawhi news online that the Clippers would welcome Leonard back. All right. All right. I think that Medved Ted spelled this out really well on our Discord overnight last night about Ramona Shelburne. Okay. Ramona Shelburne is an ESPN writer or whatever the fuck she is. I don't know. They're all hacks. They're not real journalists at this point. They have no ethics of telling the truth. They have no ethics about what ESPN was built on from the 80s, where it got huge and popular. There's no ethics in ESPN and what they're doing at this point. Obviously, with the story that she wrote with Baxter Holmes about the Clippers and the no wrongdoing story, which the NBA has said, no, that's not true, shows their credibility is out the window just in that. Like, people should be able to see that and say, okay, they wrote this article saying that Steve Ballmer is in the clear and he's not in trouble. And then the NBA comes out and says, no, that's not true. That's literally the NBA debunking them and showing them as frauds. So anything Ramona Shelburne says should not be taken seriously. It should be taken with a grain of salt, honestly. Now, what is she saying right now? She's reporting that the Clippers are very happy if the deal does not go through to just retain Kawhi Leonard. Now, you're an idiot if you think that that's going to happen. I'm going to say that right now because, first of all, this has been a huge black eye, this aspiration scandal. And the whole reason why this stuff has been going on this summer is Adam Silver wants Kawhi Leonard divorced from the Clippers because it's a bad association. They can't have him come back. This is the dumbest thing ever. This is Ramona Shelburne being a PR person for Steve Ballmer once again. She's coming out and saying, we'd be happy to have him back. Wait, motherfucker. The NBA on the down low and double secret probation is making y'all trade him. Don't you realize that, you dumbasses? Oh, like this is going to change anything. Adam Silver don't want this scandal to be hanging around the whole 82 games this season because Kawhi Leonard's sitting in a Clippers jersey. Yeah. So this shit is not going to happen. This is the most ridiculous thing. And any Raptors fans, once again, I'll point to Exhibit A, what I just said about RJ. Don't listen to the news on this shit from the States, especially for a paid mouthpiece for Steve Ballmer and the Clippers in Ramona Shelburne. Let's just put it that way. She's outed herself as somebody who's absolutely not reliable to listen to on anything. And I just want to say, trade rumors will be rumors. I deal with facts. I deal with events that actually happen, like a Groat night that's coming up in January. There's 3 of them. Or I'll deal with facts. The G League schedule's out, and I know that these games are for real and they're going to happen. I'm going to deal with facts. I'm going to deal with facts. People can be in speculation world with bullshit artists like Jake Fisher and Ramona Shelburne and all the other assholes at ESPN and Bleacher Report. You could go ahead and live in that world, but I'll use critical thinking and I'll actually just believe what is real and true and happens. Because there's so much speculation industry at this point. They're making money off the death of people and shit like that at this point. It's disgusting. So yeah, don't believe this report. And honestly, I would tell you this. If I'm really critically thinking about this, how the fuck is Kawhi returning to the Clippers after all this bullshit this summer? Seriously, ask yourself that. You think Adam Silver will let that happen? No, he won't. Because honestly, that would be the ultimate thing, is saying, like, this is part of the punishment, is Kawhi has to leave. He has to leave, Steve Ballmer, because you colluded to get him there in the first place with your bullshit tampering. And then you've done illegal deals with him. And the NBA's got you red-handed. It's just that it's a PR nightmare, and they have to handle it really lightly, like it's a bomb that could detonate. So go ahead, in the void of information not being there, fill the void with a hack bullshit artist like Ramona Shelburne putting out bullshit in the last 2 weeks in different articles. Go ahead. It don't mean it's the truth, because honestly, your first story that came out with Baxter Holmes has already been refuted by the organization called the National Basketball Association. So it's like, yeah, go ahead and believe that bullshit about, oh, we would welcome Kawhi back on the Clippers. You think that fucking shit's gonna be allowed? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. And well, now we know who Ramona is. Now we know who she is. She's outed herself. That's it right there. She's a mouthpiece for a billionaire oligarch named Steve Ballmer. And that's what it is right there. Yeah. Smooth saying this. I just want the trade announcement now. Camp is around the corner. Well, camp is about 2 or 3 weeks away. And well, hopefully this will happen. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying, but in some ways, you guys let it affect you as much as you want. It's something we can't control. It's a good example of knowing what you can and can't control in your life and not getting all bent out of shape out of the things you can't control. It's a good lesson for Raptors Nation. In some ways, Raptors fans, this is a great lesson in patience. Maybe in some ways, you'll be closer to enlightenment because of the Kawhi Leonard pause, is what I would say. So, yeah, take it for the good side of it, Reggie, and let's practice patience, just like Trevor J's words of wisdom today. Good things come to those who wait. And we are waiting. And that's just how it is. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Smooth saying this. Why did the Tempo allow some players to leave with 4 games left? Doesn't have a good look. You know, in some ways, this bugs me too. That's why I've been kind of saying this. Well, it's because, they gave him an option, Reggie. They gave him an option. They told them, look, we understand that y'all have international team duties for your home countries. Yeah, we will not pay you for the games you're going to go and take off on. So that's why they said suspended temporarily, meaning they're not getting paid for these games. And that was the right of Condé, Alamon, and Sabali. If they weren't going to be available, whether they're sitting on the bench injured or playing in the games, well, we won't pay you for these games. We're going to take some of this money off your contract for this year, and we're going to withhold those funds. And that's what they did. That was their choice. Julie could have stayed and said, well, I'll stay and I'll get paid the money you're going to pay me for these games. But no, I really need to go back. And she did, because she had to play yesterday while we were playing. And she went back a little earlier and missed a few games this week. I guess they gave him that right, especially with this season being done and we're not playing for anything. I would wonder what it would have been like if we were playing for a playoff spot and we were very competitive right now. What would these tough decisions be? In some ways, this is something I got to get used to with the WNBA, because it's a part-time season. And it's often that these players play another half of the year in another league, whether it's in Europe or Unrivaled or whatever. With the NBA, it's really the competition between the NBA is you're in the NBA or you're playing for your national team. And then, they're very methodical about keeping a boundary between that so that the best players can play in the most important FIBA, because it's nowhere near the NBA schedule. But this is different. This is weird. And because the FIBA window is in September, when they like to do all the men's and women's stuff for qualifiers, it's overlapping into the WNBA season at a very inopportune time, which is the ramp up for the playoffs. In some ways, it's really not a good design. A lot of people complain about this. It's almost like they're going to be away from each other for this break. Becky Hammond hates it. She was talking about it after the game last night. She's saying, like, I don't know how I can run practices with everybody so all over the place for the next 2 weeks with their different countries and different places. And then they'll come back and I have to get them all on the same page and running together as a unit again. And we only get 4 games at the end of September to ramp up and get into the WNBA playoffs. So it's like, it's really not good timing. And in some ways, this needs to be fixed, because this isn't right. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with this situation. And as Becky said, it's like, I am really worried about my players going to play international basketball right now and coming back hurt. and not being able to play in the playoffs for the Aces. So at least we can count our blessings that we don't have these worries as the Tempo because we ain't in the playoffs. But Becky Hammond be worried about Gray, Gray and Young and Wilson and Yamamoto and Talbot, possibly having a nick up or something happening to them, some sort of issue happening while they're away with their international teams. This is a real concern. Just think about that. Think about that. If a high profile WNBA player gets hurt during the FIBA break and cannot play in the playoffs, that's a shame and that's a mess up and that's a bad thing. That's why this shit needs to all be separated. And it's not going to get any easier because the WNBA season is going to expand to 50 games starting next year. They play 44 right now in the regular season. They're going to add 6 more regular season games next year. How did they jam that all in and figure all that out? There has to be a little bit of overlap more with the NBA schedule. I know they don't like to do that. They try and get the WNBA to start up, when most of the NBA is pretty much finished up. But they're going to have to overlap them to a degree. And it may very well be they have to front load the overlap. But then you got to worry about European leagues, like how our players showed up right at the last minute because they were playing for Fenerbahce and other teams around the world in Europe and other places. So it's a real logic puzzle. But in some ways, taking 2 weeks off in the last month of the season and then having only 4 games to ramp up for the playoffs, this is not ideal. This is not ideal in any kind of way. So, it's about your priorities. And Julie Alemann's priority is to represent Belgium right now and not play for a non-playoff team that's beat up like the Tempo. Marina, Brittany, and Anissa are out. It's like, that kind of takes the teeth out of our team, right? That takes the teeth out of our team. Lebo's saying this, looking at the Phoenix game, I sense a win for the Tempo. I love this. This is a great comment. But they need to take care of the ball and defend the paint. Phoenix is a poor three-point shooting team. So this may be similar a little bit to this Storm game earlier this week because the Seattle Storm cannot hit threes either. And well, maybe we could get something going with certain people. Somebody who could actually really rise up and play really tough for us and do really well. And they showed signs of it last night is Williams. Williams is actually a really good three-point shooter. And if we can get Kiana and Kia and Kiki, those three, to get their threes going in. I mean, Isabel can hit some. Temi could hit some. Yuskata, hey, this might be a really good key to the victory is what Lebo's saying here, is that let's beat them in the three-point shootout. If they're not a very good three-point shooting team, let's try and dominate them by scoring a lot of threes and doing really well that way. We'll see. Trevor J saying this. He's saying, all right, he's bringing in politics and U.S. stuff right now. Some ways I don't really want to talk about this, but whatever, we'll do it. U.S. government got caught stealing the soldiers' paychecks to fund the horrible war. I mean, I don't put anything past the criminal that is in charge of the United States right now. He's a child rapist. He's raped women his whole life. He's bilked contractors his whole life where he get people to do jobs for him and he never pays them. And they've sued him over the years. He's a con artist. He's a criminal. And he denies, and lies and lies and lies and lies. And he projects his crimes onto other people. Once again, if he says that somebody else is doing something, specifically Joe Biden, he's usually doing it. He called them the Biden crime family. Well, no, it's the Trump crime family with Don Jr. and Eric and Jared Kushner and all their bullshit. They're the Trump crime family. And it's very evident from the way they trade stocks and they're doing illegal deals using the office of the presidency of the United States as leverage to make new business deals globally. Yeah, I mean, look, that doesn't surprise me. And if veterans and people that give a shit about Americans and people that want to respect their army and their veterans and what they've sacrificed, this is one of the biggest insults in the world you can do. It's par for the course, literally, for this gross man that buries women in the 18th hole of his golf course, including his ex-wife, for him to steal money from soldiers. I mean, he's taken all the money away from their VA hospitals and their programs to help them in their later life. So this makes sense. It's completely on brand for a fucking child rapist piece of shit that, honestly needs to find his justice one way or another, is what I would say. So yeah, Trevor, this doesn't surprise me. This doesn't surprise me, man. Yeah, Kaloy saying this. It's clear now that Ramona is Ballmer's mouthpiece. I think what this means is that Bobby is trying to get back a pick back, and this is a message for that. It's simple, really. We just go through the current deal. The NBA just has to release the initial findings and punishment. Yeah, once again, I want to tell everybody because they won't say this in the public. Bobby is in control here. Bobby paused the deal, not Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer would do the deal in a heartbeat right away. But Bobby said, you know what? I want to wait until I hear what Adam has as a punishment. I want to hear the what he's going to do to Kawhi. I don't give a shit about what he's going to do to you, Steve. And I don't care what he's going to do to the Clippers as a franchise. I want to hear what he has for Kawhi. And if Adam Silver would come out with the punishment for Kawhi, even if it's separate from the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, and just did that first, I bet you Bobby Webster would unpause the trade immediately after hearing the ramifications for Kawhi. And that's really what we should be waiting for. It's not if the aspiration investigation's over. It's not if what we have to wait for what happens to Clippers. It's what we have to wait for what happens to Kawhi. And they should just announce that aspect of the whole thing. If you're going to punish Kawhi, Adam Silver, go ahead and come out with the punishment and tell us what it is. And then Bobby Webster will go ahead and unpause the trade. It's in some ways is unfair that you got to hold the whole thing up and make it one big thing. In some ways, we could make this the NBA's case versus Kawhi Leonard and split it with the NBA's case versus Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. And they don't have to be completely adjudicated together, especially if the player is not guilty of the same things as the organization. So I would say that. Yeah, I would say that right there. That's right. Kareem Thomas is here. When the fuck does the deal get confirmed with Kawhi? I just answered this. So I hope you just listened to me there. The get confirmed with Kawhi on the Raptors. What's the fucking holdup? I don't know, man. Lawyers. I don't know. Adam Silver. I don't know. Getting in a cage with a bear named Steve Ballmer who has billions of dollars, and you're going at him litigiously, and you may punish him, and you have to watch out how you step or go at him because he may come back at you in a really crazy way with money. You better have your case airtight. There's a lot to this, Kareem. There's a lot of reasons why. I can tell you why. The reason why this took so long, because none of the Clippers employees had to cooperate, and they didn't. And they didn't give them any information. It took Walktail Lipton forever because these were like, I won't tell you nothing, Kappa. You ain't got nothing on me. No, you don't. No, see? Yeah, it's that kind of shit. Because every time the lawyers came and said, hey, Clippers employee, will you tell us what y'all did? We don't have to tell you shit. You're not the real law enforcement. You're not the government. We don't have to do anything because you won't put us in jail. You can't do anything to punish us. So that's part of the reason why this investigation took forever, is because the NBA has no teeth in a investigation that's private for their own company, and there's no law enforcement or judicial ramifications like getting sent to prison for contempt of court. So that's it, Kareem. It's because it's not a real case in some ways. It's the NBA's own dog and pony show. And once again, he's got to be very careful and lightly massaging this situation because Steve Ballmer is very powerful. And Steve Ballmer has already said publicly he will fight this shit and he will try and pay for it to go away, even if he's absolutely guilty. Absolutely guilty. I mean, this is the way of the world. Rich people pay for their fucking criminality to go away and they get off scot-free. And that's the sad fucking truth about the way the world is at this point with the United States and their capitalism and their bullshit and their pay for politics and their amassing of wealth and equality in the society today. I mean, seriously, it's not and justice for all. No, it's not equality in the eyes of the court. How much money you got? That's what it is right there. That's right. Medved Ted saying this. Kawhi's demeanor has completely changed since the Raptors made offer for him. He is happy. He does media appearances. His relationship with the Clippers has been toxic, and he can't wait to leave those bums. I read that the same way. Yeah. He has changed a bit. He is very much more outgoing. It's very interesting. He does have a lighter energy around his aura too, naturally. So it could very well be that being in LA has been a nightmare, and he's kind of feeling relief because he can see himself getting out of there. That's right. Kawhi dancing and having a good time in China. That's right. That's right. His team's been rocking Raptors gear. That's it right there. That's a sign of what they're trying to do is that it sounds like they left that team in the past already. And people, I think this is once again, like Kaloy and other people have said, this is Shelburne being a mouthpiece for Bomber and damage control for the possible what's going to come out. Because, this is what the news is now is put out misinformation, mislead the public. And that article saying that the Clippers did no wrongdoing and the NBA didn't find any wrongdoing has done a lot of damage already in public perception and misleading people to think, well, this, and maybe that's the design. Because when they come out with the punishment and they see, oh, wait, I thought they didn't do anything. Well, that's fucked up. Maybe they're trying to garner some sympathy for Steve Ballmer by putting out misinformation and disinforming the public. That's it right there. And this is just another piece of the little bonfire. They're starting to put a little tinder stick on there. Oh, we would be open to having him come back to the Clippers. That's just another little piece to that dumbass bullshit they're building right there. That's right. Kaloy saying this. I know the morality police is finger wagging at Kawhi and Uncle Dennis, but I love how unbothered this guy is. It feels like the summer of Kawhi. Haha. Yeah, I don't want this to be the summer of Kawhi like this. I want it to be next summer when he's a champion once again, and he's gotten his second Raptors championship. And, we're celebrating another Raptors parade is what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's the summer Kawhi I want to see. That's right. Kaloy saying Bomber is just that powerful, Kareem. The guy bought a stadium with his own money. Yeah, this is a big, huge problem. This is indicative of it. You guys worship God money. Well, realize the people at the highest levels of worshiping God money have destroyed their shred of humanity inside of them. And they don't look at people as equal anyway. They look at it all as peasants, and they don't mind if we die in mass casualties because they're good. They got their shit together. They got their bunkers and they got all their fucking bullshit. And listen, you can turn people into monsters and dehumanize them by having them have extreme wealth. And they have no fucking touch with the common person and common problems. And that's why, stupid shit like renaming a lake is most important to a child rapist instead of grocery prices and gas prices. That's why right there, because they're so out of touch. And it isn't the same world we're living in. Let's just trust in that, seriously. And that's why the whole system needs to be destroyed, because anything they can get to this point, and history repeats itself. The fall of Rome, the robber barons of 100 years ago with the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and all that bullshit that they were doing in the United States then 100 years ago. Yeah, there was a response and things changed. There was a progressive movement with FDR. And a lot of things changed with Truman and other presidents that were like, yeah, we're going to be more for the people instead of these assholes that are robbing everybody as robber barons. It's the same thing with Rome. Rome, the very wealthy got too greedy and over excess, and the fucking whole thing burned down. And well, we're getting to that point right now with what's going on with the system in the United States. This shit's going to get burned down one way or another. Because they've abused it and the inequality has gotten too vast so that, people are not really in reality at a certain level of society and where they're up there with their money. They're not with reality at this point. Steve Ballmer's not with reality completely. Let's just put it that way. He lives by different rules than the rest of us. Let's just put it that way. Medvedev saying this, imagine having the best arena and practice facilities in the world to attract star players, and you still have to resort to paying players on the table to get them through the door, losers. It's a very hollow kind of like structure. They have not done well since Kawhi got there. I don't care what you say. He won more playoff series in 1 year in Toronto than the whole time he was on the Clippers for 6 years. That's the truth. That's the truth. He won 4 playoff series with the Raptors, and he won like 2 with the Clippers or something, or 3. The whole 6 years he was in a Clippers uniform. That's what I'm saying. You could build things with a lot of money and just throw money at them. But if you don't have the heart, the plan, the intelligence, the skill to organize it all and do it the right way with the right kind of pillars of foundation that make it strong, like what we did here in Toronto with a family atmosphere and what Masai Ujiri built here, you won't be successful no matter how much money you got. no matter how fancy your facilities are. It doesn't matter. You have to build it the right way, and you can't just buy it to build it. You can't. You can't just say, "Oh, I've got all this money. I'm just gonna buy stuff." No, it doesn't work that way. You need a lot more than that. And some of this shit you can't buy is what you need. That's right. And we had that here in Toronto, and we still do, even after Ujiri. We still do. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Kaloy saying, but reality has a way to get back at you, even if you have all the money in the world. You did all that shit to get Leonard for one Western Conference appearance. Yeah, I don't even remember that. Did they make the Western Conference Finals? Did they? I don't even remember that. I thought they were either out, not in the playoffs, or out in the first round. Maybe they got the second round once. Did they really get to that far? I don't remember them being in the Western Conference playoffs, finals. I don't remember that. Now let's see. Chloe's saying, I need reality to kick the shit out of the orange orangutan. Yeah. Well, in some ways it is. In little ways, it's like he's getting cut by little razor butt cuts all over his body and just slowly bleeding out of his carcass, slowly but surely, from all the little things that are wrong and absolutely the truth. And the truth is out in front and everybody sees it. Yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting thing. In some ways, I don't want to talk about him hardly at all today. We talked about him a lot yesterday, and I don't want to do that again today. All right, I like this. Fiercey's getting me back on point. I want to talk about the tempo game against the Aces last night. Yeah, Chelsea Gray's nickname is Point God because of her flashy assists. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right, yeah, let's do the stars of the game real quick for the tempo versus the Aces last night. My number one star, and I just love her so much. Oh my God, I love her. Like, she's not taking off and getting her contract suspended temporarily to go run back to Lithuania. No, she's not. She's not. She's just so special and awesome. She's such a sweetie. She's such a shy lady. She's such a humble person. But boy, does she play in a way that's not humble and very courageous and very confident. She's taken it to Asia Wilson in this game last night. Like, that takes a lot of guts, seriously, to go at Wilson. And especially when you do a little fake behind the back pass, come wrap it around, and then go around the long arms of Wilson. Oh my gosh, that was high level taking you to school. And that is not no slouch. That may be the best basketball player in the world she did that to. That is amazing, Laura Yasketa. How did you do that? I'm like the confidence of her, the gall of Laura to do that to the great Aces. Yeah, I'm just gonna dribble through the lane. I'm gonna do this little fake behind the back pass, fake y'all out, and then come back around and lay it up around the outstretched arm of Asia Wilson. I love that shit so much. Don't you know who you are, Yasketa? You shouldn't be doing this shit in the WNBA to the top level players. Or maybe you should be because you are like that. And you know what? It's so weird because her personality off camera, off the games in person is so shy and like kind of like I don't want to talk to the mascots. I'm shy. Meanwhile, she's out on the court, ferocious and confident and doing shit that, you know, there's a confidence there that's on the court that doesn't match her personality in real life, which is very strange to me because it's often very opposite. There's somebody off the court, you know, like Elijah Martin saying, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that. And then, you know, they're going out there and they're kind of like, yeah, you're good, but you know what? You're not as good as you think you are. Meanwhile, Laura's like, oh, I'm okay, you know, I'm okay. And then she goes out there and she beats Asia Wilson one-on-one to the basket. I'm just saying, there's something about that that's so awesome. I love that so much. I really do. Iskata, 28 minutes, 14 points on 6 of 11 shooting. She is my number one star. 1 of 4 from 3, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 block, a minus 17. No, she is doing a little bit of everything out there. And once again, look, you could tell her the season's over. We're not going to make the playoffs. Half your team is hurt. Half your team is gone. She don't care. She's going all out still. She's getting on the floor. She's rolling around. She's chasing down loose balls. She's going after it to get rebounds. She's being an aggressive player on offense, bringing the ball up the court fast and looking for teammates. She's a badass, honestly. And I love her work ethic when everybody's left the building and she is still running at the same speed all the games this season, hasn't missed a single one. Wow, you're my hero, Laura Yascada. You are awesome. You are so awesome. Don't ever change, but continue to go into that confidence place. May you never, ever find yourself having confidence issues because you don't deserve it, because you're such a humble, beautiful person. And in some ways, your confidence and what you're doing in the WNBA this year is exemplary and amazing. You're one of the most surprising rookies this year. You're one of the most out of the left field rookies. And honestly, you're one of the best rookies this year, too. If we're really getting a list of all the rookies in this league this year, Yascada's in the top 15 in my book. Seriously, from her usage, her numbers, and what she has done as an impact for her team. Sure, Kiki Rice may get first team all rookie WNBA consideration, and Yascada will be ignored. But I will tell you right now, if they had 3 rookie teams, she would be on the third one. I'll bet you money. Yascada. And she deserves it. That's right. My number one star. Very deserving. And man, she took Asia to school. It was awesome. My second star is the newly acquired hardship contract of Kiana Williams. I want to say something. You know, this is her second game for us, and she'll probably play today, and that may be it. She may never play for the Tempo again. But the veteran know-how of a 5-year player was shown last night. With not a whole lot of time with this group, she did a really good job last night, and she's my second star. 23 minutes for Williams, 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting, very efficient, 2 of 4 from 3. I heard that she had a three-point shot, and we got to see it a little bit more last night. Now, can she do a repeat tonight against Phoenix? And the thing we're talking about with Lebo, we got to beat them on the three-point line. Maybe Kiana can be a key person for us to hit those threes because she has range. She has range. She does. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, -6. I'm just really impressed how solid she played. And Sandy trusts her. You know, Sandy's been putting her out in the game at key moments that are important. And that's a lot of trust for somebody who just showed up 4 days ago and was not expecting to be a Toronto Tempo ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just showed up. She has no familiarity with our systems and our players totally. But she's coming in and she played well last night, honestly. My third and final star for the game against the Aces last night is going to be France's Ornella Bencole. I've been so impressed with Ornella since people have started leaving the team and getting hurt, and her uptick in minutes and what she's contributing. I think she's such a useful player. She's a very good defender. And when she shoots threes, I have a lot of confidence in her. So yeah, 21 minutes for Ornella, 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 turnovers, a -13. Yeah, I just like how active she is. I like how long arms she is and how much she really does use her stance and her body in a good way to impede the other team. And one of the most useful ways that Ornella is used is to slow the ball down of the other team coming up the court. She is really good at being dogged, like a Jamal Shed for the Raptors, just right up on them and annoying the ball handler. Like, she's really good for that. So I really do want the Tempo to hold on to her and bring her into next year. I really do. Really do. Going over the rest of the team, we'll give an honorable mention to Izzy. I'm so happy that she showed up and played. She's so beautiful and she's so amazing. Like, she has such a grace to her. She's much like Yascada. And I was just describing how she's so shy and kind of timid off the court, but then on the court, she's ferocious and very ballsy to go in and do crazy stuff on the court. Well, Isabel has a juxtaposition that's kind of interesting too, where she's very kind of girly and very like pretty girl, you know, on her runway walking in. She's always looking amazing and she looks like a cover girl and her makeup's always perfect, her hair's perfect, and she's always got an amazing fit that just absolutely fits her body. She just, you know, she's got that aspect to her. And then you think, okay, she's a girly girl. She's dainty. she's like this, but then she gets on the court and she is so physical and she is so like not a pretty girl. She's like grinding. She's kind of like very workmanlike. She's very blue collar on the court, but she's on the orange carpet. She's very glamorous, very, very glamorous. But then on the court, she is blue collar. It's such an interesting, cool thing. And I think like with the WNBA, being female, this is a new kind of player profile for me because I don't really remember. I mean, maybe Dennis Rodman being glamorous off the court, but he is an ugly guy. No, she's amazing for being somebody who's such like honestly, they could make a Barbie doll of Isabel Harrison and sell it to the kids, like a WNBA Barbie doll, and it would be amazing. But on the court, she's out there fighting Angel Reese. She's out there battling Asia Wilson. She's out there right in the thick of the middle of things and scrapping for getting loose balls and rebounds. And I have so much respect for that dichotomy between her orange carpet walk and her blue collar work. It's so cool, man. 24 minutes for Izzy, 15 points, 5 of 14 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. I love seeing the threes go in. In fact, she had one three that was a really high arcing three. She wasn't sure to take it because Wilson was kind of out on her, but she took it. She popped it up and got a perfect shot, like a really high arcer, and it dropped in. I really love that. Also 3 for 3 at the free throw line. That was good. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. That's kind of where I didn't give her the one of the stars, is because the 4 turnovers is bad. And there was a lot of trouble inside. Like the Tempo keep trying to force the ball inside, and some teams will swarm you and not allow you to get things clean. And the ball gets on the floor, and then people are trying to reach down to get it, and the other team gets it before us. There's a lot of that kind of stuff happening to a degree. Yeah, 1 steal, also a minus 14. Temi was scoreless, which is interesting. But, Temi is out there, with Isabel, really trying to contain Asia, but it's like you can't. You can't totally. I mean, Temi had a better job against her on Sunday. Last Sunday, Temi in Vancouver had a better game scoring, and she also had a better game trying to contain Wilson, but not this one. This one was a little bit tougher for her. 0 for 1. She only took 1 shot, 6 rebounds, 0 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 steals, a minus 18. The one thing I will give a lot of credit to Temi and Laura, they're very aware on the court at all times, and they're very good at picking off long passes coming up court and reading the passing lane and jumping into it and stealing the ball. So I appreciate those kind of steals from Yasketa and Fagbenley. Kia Nurse got the start last night. It's like the second start for her this season. And, well, it was fun. 25 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 11, including 4 of 8 from 3. Those threes are really important. I love the give and go 3 that she had off Temi. She gave the ball to Temi, or it was Tiani actually. Gave the ball to Tiani, and Tiani gave it right back to Kia Nurse. And Kia shot a really quick release 3, and it was money. Yeah, there's a lot of value in Kia. I know a lot of people say, why is she on this team? But I'm telling y'all, she's been so valuable this year for our team. In fact, I didn't know she'd be this valuable. At the beginning of the year, I was kind of with everybody. It was like, yeah, she's kind of on this team because she's Canadian, and we need a Canadian content on this team. But she more than earned being on this team, honestly. And like the things she contributed to for this season are valuable and really were necessary, especially at this time of the year with everybody being hurt. So yeah, I'm really proud of Kia Nurse, our Canadian player. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, a minus 14. Kiki Rice had a dud, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting big things from Kiki Rice last night, and she just didn't show up exactly. Some of it is, she's still a rookie. She's still getting welcome to the WNBA moments. And, she had a couple of those. Chelsea Gray has been teaching her some stuff in these 2 games this week against the Aces. Jackie Young is teaching her some stuff about this is the highest level of this league. This is the highest level kind of players, and this is what they're like. In some ways, she's got to go through this process as a young rookie out of UCLA and see the best of the best so that she knows how to beat the best. And well, these are growing pains. This is all very natural for a first year player. And she had a hard time. She did have a hard time against the exemplary Las Vegas Aces all star backcourt. Yeah, 27 minutes for Kiki, 10 points only on 3 of 11 shooting. The shot just wasn't falling, including 0 for 3 from 3. She did make all 4 of her 3 free throws, which I'm very happy about. 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 turnover, a minus 13. We just expect more at this point, especially with Marina and Brittany out. It's you, Kiki. You're the leader of the team. You're the franchise player when these other people are out, and you can play like that. You have the total license to do it. So don't hold back. Go get it, is what I'm saying. Tiani Key had a frustrating game at times. She had to get pulled out of the game for a welcome to the WNBA moment at a certain times. Yeah, it's tough. In some ways, it's not fair to her. Hello, get out there and guard Asia Wilson. Okay. It's like you can see a deer in headlights kind of look on her face at times, like, like, oh my crap, oh crap. I turned around and it's only me between the basket and Asia Wilson. What am I going to do? Yeah. Yeah. And she made some bad mistakes. She made some rookie mistakes. She's still a work in progress, but there's a lot of potential in Kentucky's Tiani Key for sure. 24 minutes for her, only 3 points. She was 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 4 at the free throw line. Those free throw misses were awful. Oh my gosh, those free throw misses were awful. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, a -7 for Tiani. Zay Green got out there for 9 minutes and got 2 points. 1 of 3 shooting. She missed both her threes. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and a +2. The only plus on the team for her minutes. So we outscored them by 2 when Zay was out there. She's an interesting player. I don't know if she's endeared herself to Sandy. If Sandy liked her, she would play her way more. But there are some signs that Zay Green has not been totally an ideal tempo player because Sandy has not totally got her off a leash and she's in the doghouse. Let's just put it that way. I can tell Green is in the doghouse and not totally one of Sandy's favorites. I mean, she's on the team, she's there for depth, but I don't think Sandy likes her. I'm just going to put it that way. I'm just going to say that. On the other side, let's go and take a appreciation for greatness. 30 minutes, 27 points on 10 of 17 shooting, 7 of 8 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 blocks, a +14. Asia Wilson. Yeah, 27 again. She had 27 against us on Sunday also. Yeah, she's just methodical. I'm really impressed with how she plays around the free throw line and just inside the three-point line. She has a couple of step dribbles to places where she can just elevate and shoot it. I can just imagine the conversations over brunch or dinner that she has with Adebayo about basketball and the philosophies and how to get open and moving and stuff like that. I can see all that kind of stuff. And she is amazing. She's way better than her boyfriend. I'm going to say that right now. Yeah, in that couple, if they're a basketball power couple, she's way better than him. And he scored 83 points. She is way better than him. I'm not going to lie. She really is. Jackie Young was the other 2-punch beside Wilson, once again, getting the other 20-point score for their team. 26 minutes, 23 points, 6 of 13, 4 of 9, 7 of 8, 4 for rebounds, 8 assists with 0 turnovers and a steal, a +16. Jackie Young is underrated. I'm going to say this right now. She gets a lot of credit for a lot of things, and she is one of the top players in the league, but she is underrated in the whole scheme of things. People will talk about Chelsea Gray and her passing and all that stuff. They'll obviously the center and Aja Wilson, how badass she is. But Jackie Young, there's some things about her that I'm so impressed with. Like, I've seen the Aces now 3 times this year. They were the last team we played that we hadn't played yet in the season when we finally got to them. And honestly, Jackie Young, the thing that I like about her is she's a fierce competitor. She's no nonsense. Some players have just an aura of compete, and she has got that. Like, she is a crazy competitor, and I really respect that. I really, really do. And she is absolutely essential to the Las Vegas Aces dynasty and their success that they've had. Absolutely essential. So yeah, looking at those two, Yamamoto wasn't as big a factor in this game, but Talbot was a little bit more of a shit disturber in this one. Of course, they had Turner starting instead of Smith, with Smith being out for the season now. But yeah, Jewel Lloyd surprises me too. Like, Jewel Lloyd was such an important player in Seattle, and now she's like a bench player for the Aces. I feel like this is a step down. I feel like she ring chased and she kind of hurt her career. Seriously. Like when she came in and she hit a three all of a sudden, she hit a couple of them. I was like, oh yeah, Jewel Lloyd's on this team. I always forget that. I don't know. Either way, live your life, Jewel. You've had really good years in Seattle individually for yourself, and now you care about the team game and winning championships. I get it. I can't get mad at you for that. I can't get mad at you for that. All right, let's go over the team stats real quick. Becky Hammond's goal of holding teams to under 20 was successful 3 out of the 4 quarters. In the second quarter, we did get 22 on them, and Becky is mad because she has this goal for them every single game they play. Every quarter the Aces play, Becky Hammond tells her team, you cannot score over 20. They cannot score over 20. We want to hold them under 20. This is a goal of hers, is to make their defense as good as possible. Because I think in the last couple of years, the Las Vegas Aces defense kind of suffered for a little bit after the first championship or two. And they kind of got lazy. And they're maybe kind of like, well, we're the champs. We're so good. We can do this and we'll be fine. Becky Hammond made them rededicate themselves to playing defense better by giving this no over 20 points in the quarter for the other team. And well, this is something that they try to do to everybody, and they're successful quite often. And they were in this case against us. The shooting last night, they outshot us 43% to 40%, and they did manufacture 8 more shots than us and hustle and rebounds. And well, it's just tough. We did get the same amount of threes as them, 10 threes for us, 10 for them. And we took less shots. So we shot better from 3 than them. The free throw line, well, the refs gave them 8 more free throws than us, and they made 10 more free throws overall. We missed 4 free throws and shot 69%. They shot 90% at the free throw line. That's a championship team. The rebounds were pretty even, 37 to 38 for a +1 for Las Vegas. But the offensive rebounds, they got 10, and that was no good. The assist turnover ratio was bad. As someone said earlier, we had 17 turnovers and only 18 assists. So that's a 1-to-1. And meanwhile, they have a championship level kind of one. They had 20 assists and only 7 turnovers. So that's almost 3-to-1 on the assist to turnover ratio for them. Their blocks and steals were huge. 10 steals for the Aces. As I said, Hammond had them juiced up to be very aggressive as a team in communication with their rotations. And their defense was really on point last night. The 4 blocks were big too. Points in the paint, 28 for us, 36 for them. So yeah, they beat us in a lot of categories. And we lost by 20. And they did kind of pull away more so in as the game went on. No slouch. It's the champs. And, well, we're just out there running with them. And Yescada's not scared. She's got that confidence. She's got that confidence, right? Right. Isaac saying this, seriously, who do the Clippers think they are? The Lakers? That's funny. All right. Fiercely saying this. At times, Yescada annoys me with her passes or turnovers, but she puts 200% effort when playing. It's undeniable how much of a hard worker she is. Yeah. And this is in the face of, the season's over for the Tempo. Why are you working so hard? Because this is who I am. And this is the only way I play. If I don't play this way every time I play, well, what's the point? Who cares if we're out of the playoffs? Who cares if half our team is hurt? Somebody's got to play. And this is my standard. This is the way I play. Yeah, I love that. I respect that so much. She goes all out. We see her hitting the floor, going after loose balls. We see her run from the 3-point line into the lane to chase down a rebound. We see her bring the ball up the court efficiently and effectively as a point forward. This is a very versatile player that has a real knack for reading mismatches and taking it to the basket. That's another whole thing. That really shows that she's a vet. Like, she'll be 29 next month. and she's not a normal rookie. She absolutely can read mismatches and opportunities on the court, and she is not afraid to go take them. And that's awesome. That is awesome. In some ways, early in the season, she would see that, but she'd be overmatched and not realizing the strength, speed, and level of talent in the WNBA. But she's adjusted over the season. And some of it is, as I said, she hit the weight room. She's bigger now. If you look at her at the beginning of the season, she's bulked up. She's stronger at this point in the season than she was back in May. And I just love how arrogantly confident she is, even though she's the most unarrogant person on the team. It's crazy. She really has a confidence out there that is just nuts for her time served in the WNBA. It's just nuts. It's crazy. All right, let me go check on my tabs and see what we got to talk about today. We've done the preview, we've done the reaction. Let's see. This is the Toronto Tempo Redditor of the day. It's Kerfuffles80 in the extreme hardship zone. And Kerfuffles posted an Instagram post yesterday of Coach Sandy at practice yesterday putting up hoops. And they're saying Coach Sandy still got it. That's right. Coach Sandy. Well, why aren't you out there, Sandy Brondello? Maybe we could have had a special game last night where Becky Hammond suits up for the Aces and you suit up for the Tempo, and we have y'all play just for fun in the game. And look, we may have allowances to help them out. No, we can't play hard against Brondello and Hammond. They're older, and don't hit them hard or physical, but let them come out there and dribble around and shoot a little bit and play point guards, but they're untouchable. Kind of like flag football, kind of level football. Yeah, can we do that? Could we have done that yesterday? Because it looks like Sandy can still go. And honestly, the way the Tempo are with their injury list right now, getting Sandy out there. Player coach Bill Russell, let's go. Come on now. Let's go, Sandy. Do the Bill Russell. Let's go. All right, let me do my straight goods on anything but American goods. Y'all, I love these cookies. When I get done with my streams, when I talk for 2 hours every morning, I need a tea. So I drink a tea like that indigenous tea that I got for my birthday from Adriana. That's really awesome. But I like to have a cookie with it too. I guess it's kind of British. It's like tea time. And I love Nairn's. Nairn's cookies. These are oat cookies from Scotland. Scotland. Yeah, this is from Scotland. And these are oats that are sown in the great country of Scotland. Yeah, they know a thing or two about oats. They've been baking them since 1896 when John and Sarah Nairn first opened their bakery in Strathaven, Lanarkshire. Since then, their range and team has grown. At their two Edinburgh bakeries, they have a devoted team, sometimes spanning generations of local families, all proud and careful guardians of our recipes, mixing techniques, and ever-growing range. Their aim is the same now as it always has been, to make tasty, wholesome food that is as simple and natural as possible, using the best ingredients they can. So yeah, Nairn's is a great producer of oat cookies out of the UK, out of Scotland. And if you see this brand, these are chocolate chip cookies. These are good, man. These are they taste just like chocolate chip cookies, but they're oat cookies. And like I said, I'll dunk them in my tea after I do my show to get my tea time afterwards. But yeah, if you see Nairn's, gluten-free even, this is a great company out of Scotland. Let's support our allies that support Canada, people that are still involved with our country in the positive way. And Scotland's fine. Scotland's right? For sure. All right, so Nairn's oat cookies. Check them out and see if you can get them at your grocery store. I know they have them at mine, and that's where I get them. So there's your straight goods on anything but American goods. That's right. There you go. I'll do the HD real quick. We moved into a new gate yesterday. There was a lunar eclipse and a full moon. It was crazy. And now we're in gate 40, the gate of aloneness. I know this sounds crazy. This is a gate that's in your heart, in your ego, in your will center. And this gate is, I'll describe a little bit about it right now, real quick. At this time, the hexagram of deliverance comes into the transit field, and we have the theme of the breadwinner affecting us. So we can expect to see around us and be involved in working hard for loved ones. That may be doing overtime at work or getting on with some project that can bring in more money to the communal pool. If you live alone, then read this as bringing in resources to have some extra to treat your friends or relatives. Either way, expect to work harder during this time. So this week coming up, this work week on Monday going forward, this is going to be a hard working week. If you want that energy, you can take it. The word for today, though, on line 1 of gate 40 is recuperation. And in detriment, recuperation, the moon cannot stand still. The ego uncomfortable with being alone too long. So this is like restlessness while you're kind of taking your rest on your weekend because you want to get back to it and work and you want to kick some ass and be very productive. That's the energy there. And exaltation, recuperation is the ability to relax and enjoy the fruits of one's labors, the ego strength to enjoy being alone. So, this gate of aloneness is about getting time to yourself to rest. So, but also there's a lot of energy here where it's like, go get it. And this is a time to strike while the iron's hot and make some money too. So, gate 40, line 1 is the aspect of the day for human design today. If you're curious about human design and what the hell I just talked about, there are many sites online. Just put it in your search engine, human design, and you can find your personal chart, your birth chart, and you can have a whole lot of things open up to you when you realize the way you were made and why you are the way you are. When you read your chart, it will tell you, and you can learn a lot of things. Like, have you ever wondered what your purpose in life is? It will tell you. If you ever wondered what one of your greatest gifts and skills is, it will tell you. Have you ever wondered what will make you happy? It will tell you. Why wouldn't you want this information? So go find a human design website today and put in your information so that you can see your aspects of your personality that you may have always known inherently, but it will tell you in words and you will be more directed to be a happier person. Because that's what the whole system of human design is for. It's for people to learn more about themselves to be happier people. There's no money involved. It has nothing to do with a cult. It has nothing to do with a pyramid scheme. It has to do with a system of understanding ourselves and being happier people. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's right. Let me see. Is there any breaking news this morning? Let's see. Blake Murphy's covering the Blue Jays. They have a new Hall of Excellence in Section 104, I guess. And they brought all these old names in. There's George Bell. There's Dave Stieb. There's Joe Carter. There's Cito Gaston. There's who's that there? Is that Delgado? Yeah, that's Delgado. There's Batista. These guys, some of these guys are gone. Like Tony Fernandez is gone. Pat Gillick's gone. I'm not sure about Tom Cheek. But yeah, there's a bunch of Blue Jays legends in this one section, and it's pretty cool. They've got like little displays for each of the players. Wow, George Bell looks good for his age, man. And there's Cito, man. Cito's such a legend. All right, cool. So the Blue Jays unveiled their new Hall of Excellence in Section 104 of the Sky Dome. That's right. The Sky Dome. That's right. All right, that's my breaking news real quick for you there. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat here real quick. That's right. Let's see. Fiercey's saying Jackie Young was the second player of the Aces to get the $1 million contract, and she totally deserves it. I still don't get why Plum asked to leave the team. She was a great compliment to their roster. I think that Kelsey Plum is an egotist. Like, in some ways, she thinks her shit don't smell. She's very into herself. And maybe she saw, okay, well, I won championship with the Aces, but I want to go out and do it on my own. You know, she could have been very well having a Pippin complex. Let's just call it that, where it's like, I have to try and win without these people. And I think that that's what it is. I think that that's what it is. And she in herself thought, well, I'll bring up the LA Sparks and make them a championship team. But that didn't happen, right? It was a fail there. So she got out of there now, and she's in Phoenix. And, well, she's going to try and build it there now? I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I read it as, because I've listened to her talk, and she's very full of herself. She's the opposite of Yescada. And I think that it's just the kind of thing where she wants to prove something for herself individually away from Wilson, Young, and Gray. I think that's what it is right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying Asia Wilson is indeed phenomenal. Her footwork, defense, and personality are top notch. Yeah. She's amazing. Like, honestly, I can't hate on them. I'm glad they are the creme de la creme of the top of the league because they carry it with grace, and they're not a knucklehead that talks trash or humiliates opponents. You know, they beat us in a very strong way by 20 points last night, but they didn't humble us. They didn't humiliate us. There was no gloating. There was no looking down on us. They were very graceful winners. And you can see it in their post game news conference. You see them sitting there, Wilson and Hammond. And there's a lot of like, if they bring us up, they're saying, well, it's so too bad what happened with the Tempo this year. So many injuries. I feel bad for Sandy and what she's had to go through this year, is what Becky said. So they're very respectful and very kind, and they're good winners. And in some ways, good winners deserve to be respected and loved, even if they're kicking your ass. So I would say that about the Aces, that and you're right. She's a top-notch person. She's a top-notch person. In some ways, I'm very happy that the WNBA has such great people at the top of the pinnacle of the league. And Asia Wilson is absolutely marketing, amazing marketing person and representative of the league as a whole. Very, very much. Yeah. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I appreciate Sykes for being on the sidelines despite her injury, providing support and advice to her teammates. Yes. This is something I was thinking about too, because Marina's nowhere to be seen. I don't know where Marina went. She didn't really come on this West Coast trip, did she? Maybe she came to Vancouver and hung around out in Vancouver for the cross country games, but she didn't cross the border to come back here. She could very well be back in New Jersey. She could be in Toronto right now. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. She's abducted. She has her abductor. So she's been abducted. I like that joke. It works. Anissa, I don't know where she went. It doesn't matter. But Brittany, and I'll tell you why she's with them right now. It's because she wants to go on this trip. They're going to say, yeah, team, we could pay you, Brittany, for coming to the games because you're not suspended temporarily like Conde and all them. So you're still getting your pay for these games. You're just hurt. You can't play. And we'll pay for a hotel and you could get a trip to Vegas and go back to Seattle and see all your old friends there when you played for the Storm and go to your favorite places that you used to go to in Seattle. Yeah, she's going to take this trip. She's going to fly with the team. She can be there for camaraderie and root on the bench and do all the team leader stuff she's doing. Let's not get it twisted. She likes revisiting Seattle because she played there. She likes going to Vegas. It's a fun city. So her tagging along on this trip, it makes a lot of sense to me. But I'd give her credit for being a leader on site and being there for the team still, when so many of them have taken off, whether it's to Europe or just not coming on the trip because they're hurt. So I got to give her credit for that. Yeah, I got to give her credit for that for sure. But let's not get it twisted. She did want to go back to Seattle and see old friends. And Vegas is fun to go to, even if you're there for just a really quick, brief moment and you're flying directly to Phoenix the next day. That's right. KT saying, wait, there was an eclipse? That's why my wife has been acting crazy. Yeah. Late last night, not last night, but the night before, at midnight on Thursday night, Friday morning, there was a full moon at the apex at 12:08 a.m. after midnight, Friday morning. And at some point over the night, in the middle of the night while we were sleeping, the moon got covered up and there was an eclipse. Yep. Yep. And some people captured it. The astronomy nerds were paying attention to it, but most of the other people weren't. But yeah, there was a lunar eclipse on Friday night, Friday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying this. Interesting fact. Jackie Young, Brianna Turner from the Aces were teammates of Marina Mabrey, Jessica Shepard, and Enrique in their 2019 NCAA championship win. This is why Marina's friends with all them. Very close. The friendship between her and Shep. I've seen her with Jackie Young and how they interact. The way they interacted at the All-Star break. Yeah. Yeah, this may be part of the reason why Enrique comes at Marina so hard when we play the Dallas Wings, because she's like, yeah, I'm going to bust your butt, Eminem, because we're friends. I love you, but I'm going to kick your ass, because she does. She has that kind of energy towards us when we play Dallas. So, yeah, this all makes sense right here. Notre Dame has such an amazing collection of talent that's in the WNBA. It's definitely a powerhouse college for women's basketball, like UConn. There's a couple of schools for basketball that just put out a lot of good players. And UConn, this year for UCLA, hello, yeah, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, that's a classic one. LSU, that's another school that'll put out some people, right? So yeah, this is fun. These are the ties that bind in different ways. All right, let's go do the Raptors birthday of the day. We've got one birthday today, and it is going to be we're going to play Argentina, Canada versus Argentina on Monday, the 31st. Lugetz Dort and Nikhil Alexander-Walker will be playing in the game in Quebec City on Monday night against Argentina. Well, we're going to say happy birthday to Argentinian Raptor Carlos Delfino. Carlos Delfino from Santa Fe, Argentina, is turning 44 today. 44 years old for the classic Raptor Delfino. Of course, Carlos played for our team in 2007, 2008, and he played for us for 1 year. He played all 82 games of the season that year, and he averaged 9 points and 4.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists. So happy birthday to a full season, one season Raptor, Carlos Delfino, who's turning 44 today. That's our Raptor birthday of the day. Yeah. Hey, there you go. You guys remember Delfino, right? Yeah, Delfino's pretty good. All right, let me open up a pack. I've got one pack left in this box. And then maybe we'll start doing classic WNBA cards. Although they're not classic because these are recent cards. These will be all recent WNBA cards. Not necessarily a classic card, but yeah, let me open this pack. We're doing a pack opening once again on this game day. We've done them on game days recently. All right, let's see who we get. Hopefully we get some cool. Hey, look who we were just talking about. Look at that. Look at that. I got the Jackie Young card right on the top. We were just talking about her. That's weird. Isn't that weird? This kind of stuff happens with the classic card. It's like the classic card knows. It's like I'm a magician and I don't even know it. Oh, yeah? Well, look. Was this the card you were thinking? Jackie Young? Ah, yeah. It's like the day we had the classic card was Oliver Miller. And on the day that Oliver Miller died, it's like some sort of weird message from beyond. Oliver Miller saying, Raptor freaks, don't ever forget me. I'm the classic card. And then Oliver Miller died the day we had him as the classic card. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Some of the coincidences that happen with the classic card. I'm telling you. All right, who else did we get? We got Leah Boston, another all-star. I have a couple Boston cards now. Is that Cameron Brink? Yes, it is. There's a Cameron Brink card. There you go. All right, let's see who we got. Oh, that's a Collier. This is a really good deck. This one right here. We got Young and Boston and Collier so far. These are top-notch WNBA players. Who's that? That's Kate Martin. Kate Martin. Okay. Aerial Powers. I think we got through. Oh, look, we got another Marina. So I got 2 Marina cards and 2 Brittany cards now. Yeah, it's cool to get Marina Mabry. All right, going up there. I'll give you guys somebody. I'll get somebody this. Look, Marina's right next to the shoe tosser. That's so weird. They put Marina in the deck, the card pack, right next to Lady Hamilton, the shoe tosser. That's crazy. Who's that? Carly Samuelson. Let's see. Oh, there's a Niara card. We got another Niara. I have 2 Niara Sabally cards now, too. So maybe open to trading or giving them to somebody. There's Cloud. There's Natasha Cloud of the Liberty at that point. Here's a Malonga rookie. You guys want a Dominique Malonga rookie? Dunked in the All-Star game. There's Sivka. I think this is very similar to another pack that was in the box, because I think this is kind of the same thing. Because here's even that Tide card that we saw that one time, but it's Natasha Cloud Crunch Time. Kind of a weird card. And then the last card is, who is that? Paige Beckers. Look at that comic book, The Marvels rookie card, Paige Beckers. This is probably worth something. This is a special card, right? The Marvels, Net Marvels, Paige Beckers. I don't know. Either way, that's the WNBA card pack opening for today. Thank you, Trevor J, for sending that box once again. And, well, memorize the cards you saw, because they could very well be the classic card very soon. Very, very soon. That could be. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Kareem saying, Lex, get a binder with plastics, man. I do. I have these things. I have binders of cards like crazy behind me in the shelves here. I have such crazy cards. Kareem Thomas. Let me see if I can find one of my binders right now that's close to me that I can show you. I mean, I don't have these in the binder right now, but this box, this Converse shoes box, is absolutely full of cards. Absolutely full. Like here's a Marc Gasol in a plastic right here, a Raptors Marc Gasol card. You be happy about that, right? Right? Here's a Dennis Schroeder card. Or no, that's SGA. See, it's in plastic. I'm putting stuff in plastic. There's an OG card in there. There's all kinds of stuff on there. You're making me want to collect again? Well, you need to hook up with me, man. I'll give you a bunch of my cards. Like this thing, these are all in the plastic right now. We got SGA. We got Kawhi. Look at that Kawhi card in the Clippers. We got Braun. Look at that Braun card I got. Yeah, there you go. Dennis and a Raptors card. Dennis Raptors card. Of course, I love Dennis. Here's a Chet rookie. This is a Chet rookie card, man. Chet rookie. You want this one as yourself here. I know people love Chet. That's for Seymour Pate. Here's a Dylan Brooks. Look at that Dylan Brooks Memphis card. Shiny. Nice and shiny. I love that card. Here's a Terrence Ross old school card. Look at that Terrence Ross with Jonas on there, man. Yeah, who's this one? Oh, it's our Groat, Kyle Lowry. Maybe I can get him sign it this year. Serge Ibaka. Let's see, who else is in here? Here's an old Charles Barkley card that I got in the mix here just for the hell of it. Charles Barkley. Here's another card. It's DeLon Wright. Look at that, DeLon Wright Raptors rookie card. That's a rookie card, DeLon Wright rookie. Look at this one. I got a Dennis Rodman Spurs card in here, man. Joe Dumars running the Pelicans now. Joe Dumars. Yeah. Here we go. Who's that? That's a Vince Carter card. Look, I even got Vince Carter in here. Isn't that crazy? Oh, and here's that OG card. OG in a Raptors jersey. Yeah. See, I got some good cards in here. And I'm putting them all in this plastic case. Oh, crap. I broke it. All right, hang on. I'll fix it back again and put them back in their plastic as Kareem Thomas is so upset. He said, you got to put these in binders, man. What are you doing, Lex? Put your cards in a binder. I know. You're right. All right, hang on. They're not going back in very well. But yeah, this is a full of cards in here, man. This is just like, you're not even seeing the surface, scratching the surface here, man. You got to understand, Lex has got cards that are like 30 years old that are in here. Very, very old 90s cards in here. Like, let's see, what else do I got? This is like, look at these Blue Jays cards. Look at that Fred McGriff card right there. Like, this has got the whole team. This is the whole team of the Blue Jays from this year, 1989. So this is like all, those Blue Jays that year. Look at this. This is another card pack of Blue Jays cards. Fleer 1990 cards. George Bell on the front of it. That's right. These are all Blue Jays all the way through. All of them for that year. Let's see. What else do I have in here? Let's see. Oh, look at this Dominique Wilkins card. Yeah. There's some good stuff in here, man. I got some cool cards, man. Oh, look, you want this James Harden? Philadelphia James Harden. Ooh. Let's see. This is a weird card here. This is one of the weird cards I got one time. Who is that? This is a signed card signed by Sonny Weems. This is a Sonny Weems autograph card that's in plastic. Its own really strong plastic thing. Sonny Weems. Raptor Sonny Weems. Yeah, man. I got some stuff, bro. Yeah, man. Here, look at this Norman Powell card. It's all Christmas. That's right. And this is this is a cool card right here. This is a jersey card. And I think this card has Bargnani's jersey in it. and Chris Bosh. This has Chris Bosh and Andrea Bargnani's jersey, both of them. A piece of both of their jersey in this card. This is crazy stuff. I'm telling you, man. I got some really good shit. I don't know. Maybe we should hang out sometime, KT. You can come out to the house and I'll show you all my cards, and maybe you can bring yours and we could do some deals. That's right. Maybe we can do some deals. Wheeling and dealing, collecting the cards. That's right. Collecting the cards, man. Yeah, Fiercey saying $30. Wow. Yeah, Seymour will want that Chet rookie for sure. For sure, he would want that home god card right there. That's right. Kawhi Clippers card worth $2. I have some Kawhi Raptors cards too, though. That's for sure. KT saying this season I'm going to try to collect all NBA players. You know, when you go to the game, they actually sell Raptors cards at the store now. I bought a bunch of Raptors cards last year. And I got some of the cards I just showed you that way. Like that Kyle Lowry card I got. They have packs that have assorted Raptors history cards. And you open it up and you might get Jonas. You might get Damari Carroll. You might get Amir Johnson. You might get any of the old classic Raptors. Like, it's pretty cool. So yeah, you can get, and they're all the cards in the pack will be all Raptors cards. No other team. No other team. So yeah, check that out when you go to the game this season. At the places where they sell the jerseys and the hats and all that, they have them by the register. Oh, you want some Raptors cards? Yeah, we have them right here. You can just get them. Get them at the arena. That's right. All right, where am I at with the chat and the time? Okay. We got about 15 minutes. We got to do classic card. Let's do that. We'll do a classic card now, and it won't be a basketball card. I think we're due for another Yo MTV Raps card. How about that, y'all? Y'all want another Yo MTV Raps card? Let's go with this one today. This is awesome. I will do a clue for this one. If you guys can't get it, I'm sure you will, and I'll sing one of their songs if you guys can't get it. You got more cards from me? Trevor, the older the better. Like, if you can find old vintage NBA cards, that's the best. Like, if you can find NBA cards from the 90s, the early 2000s, even the 80s, if you can find a classic stuff, that'll be the best, I think. Yeah, Kareem wants cards sent to him too. Well, I'm the middleman, Kareem. We'll do a Raptor Freak hangout. I'm actually thinking about, all right, that's actually what I should talk about real quick. The Raptors 905 schedule came out, right, guys? The Raptors 905 schedule came out yesterday. And I'm already pinpointing a game that I want to go to for the Raptor Freak Hangout. And there's two games that I'm thinking about. They're both Sunday afternoon games. And the first one is on November the 22nd. Sunday, November the 22nd. It's against the Westchester Knicks. And it'll be 2 p.m. at Paramount Fine Food Center. Kareem Thomas, you meet me at the arena then. I'll bring you some of these cards. If that date is not good, the Maine Celtics will be also at Paramount Fine Food Center on Sunday, December the 6th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So I don't mind that. And there's also, I think the Nets game, maybe the Nets game the next week is fine too. But any games on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., I'm thinking about going, and I will be sitting courtside. And you guys should come with me and sit at courtside. It's not that expensive. You can sit at courtside at 905 for $100. And it's worth it, trust me, because you're going to be sitting there watching Elijah Martin, people like AJ Lawson, up close, right on the court, man. It's the best. It's the best, man. Smooth saying, sports cards are crazy expensive. Boxes are like $400, $500. Baseball, basketball. Yeah. Yeah. Fiercey wants cards too. Send them to her too. All right, let's do the classic card. It is a Yo MTV Raps card. And, first person to name this group. This is a group, and I want the group name. If you want to name their first names after you name the group, you can do that afterwards too, if you want. So here we go. Classic card of the day. Who is this group, y'all? It's easy. If you don't get this right away, I'm going to be mad at y'all. If you call their original incarnation, then, but you better, it's full name answer. You can't do that. That's right. That's right. You got Seagull. You went there, the quick part, and Smooth got in there. That's right. What are their names, though, for extra points? I might give you extra points if you can name, like, who's the first guy in the yellow jacket, the red jacket, and the green jacket? What are their first names? That's what I want. Yeah, we know them. Ricky Bell. That's right. Ricky Bell. Ricky Bell is right. Ronnie DeVoe. That's right. Let's go, Fiercey. That's right. And who's the last guy? That's Biv, right? Michael Bivens. That's right. That's right. She got that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Smooth the points for Bell Biv DeVoe. That's right. That girl is poison. Of course, original members of New Edition with Johnny Gill and Bobby Brown, the Bell Biv DeVoe, Ricky Bell, Ronnie DeVoe, and Michael Bivens. That's right. That's right. In some ways, all right. I'm gonna give 300. Actually, this isn't that hard. I'm gonna give. How should I do this? I'm gonna give 150 to Smooth for getting the band, and then 150 each for getting the first names for Fiercey. So 150 to Fiercey, 150 to Smooth for today's classic card. And let's read the back of the card real quick. Bell Biv DeVoe, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivens, Ronnie DeVoe. Bell Biv DeVoe's debut album, Poison, has reached triple platinum status and is still selling. The trio began in 1991 on a cross-country tour, co-headlining with Johnny Gill and Keith Sweat, and their label was MCA of the Beastie Boys. Yeah, that's right. Boys the Men? You're going to say Boys the Men? No, this is Bell Biv DeVoe. That's right. And I love that song, Poison. It's such an iconic song. Poison! Yeah, poison. Yeah, poison. That girl is poison. All right, let me see. All right, let me add it up for you guys. All right, let's see. Bell Biv DeVoe is the classic card of the day. And we're going Smooth and Fiercey for 150 each. That's what we decided. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys, do you like that I have a Bell Biv DeVoe trading card? Like, seriously, does that impress you more than all the basketball cards I just showed you? Did I have a Bell Biv DeVoe trading card? I mean, it is kind of crazy to have that, right? I don't know. Somebody go look it up on Beckett's or whatever. Look it up on the card trading site and say, how much is the Bell Biv DeVoe trading card worth? I wonder how much it is worth. I wonder if we could look that up. Should we look that up, y'all? Either maybe Kaz will look it up, or maybe I'll just try and look it up real fast on here. I don't know. Bell Biv DeVoe Yo MTV Raps card. Yeah, so Fiercey's going to 5181. 5181 on her total. And Smooth is going to 2350. 2350. And you guys stay in the same spots. Nobody moves. So Fiercey's number one, 5181. Slug Deezy, 3120. Smooth, 2350. That's our top three in the classic cards. All right, I'm going to go look this up. Let me see if I can find the value. How much is Yo MTV Raps Bell Biv DeVoe card worth? We'll just ask the search engine, see what it says. This card came out in 1991, it says. Okay, it says depends on the specific card number and condition, with most base cards trading for $1 to $2. So I think it's only worth like $2 or something like that. I don't know. It's in mint condition. It's not messed up in any kind of way. It's got no defections or problems at this point. So maybe it's a $2 card. That seems crazy. $1 to $3. Man, all right. Well, just throw it over there then. It's fine. That's fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. Let's see. Fiercey saying I did a choreography on Poison in high school. So you did like a dance routine, like to that song. You made a whole like thing for everybody to dance to it. Cool. That's very cool. Smooth saying I bought an Akeem Olajuwon rookie card graded 8 for $450. I mean, this is a man who really loves the Rockets, and the 2 championships of the Rockets. Well, the dream. That's the centerpiece for that. The center. That's right. That makes sense. Wanted that card for a long time. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, $1 to $3. Okay, yeah, that's about what I thought. Yeah. Fiercely saying that car will be worth a lot, Lex. They were recently touring, get much older, but still have many fans. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's been how many years? 35 years, and it's not worth but just $2 still. I'll bet you maybe there's a card in that set that's rarer and more sought after. Who knows? Like, I mean, I've had Big Daddy Kane, Cool Mo D, Boogie Down Productions. We've had these different cards. Maybe there's a certain artist. Oh, we had the Public Enemy card. I wonder if the Public Enemy card's worth more. Let me put that one in and just see if that one's worth more, because in some ways, Public Enemy is a little bit more bigger and relevant. Let me see what it says. No, it's saying about the same thing. Wait, no, wait. A graded high end could be $15 to $30. Interesting. Well, either way, I don't know. I feel like I'm asking the wrong place, and they don't really know what they're talking about. They really don't. All right. Either way, I'm done. I'm done with that. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying uh $1 or $2 is a travesty. Yeah, I think that's at least worth $5. I don't know. It seems goofy. It seems goofy. Fiercely saying, do these cards gain value when the person is dead? I don't know. Maybe, maybe. Kaz is saying, give the card to your nephew, Lex. Just got to wait another 50 years. Yeah, I don't know. I don't totally trust him to take care of. Although he has a lot of cards himself. I'll bet you my nephew's got a lot of baseball cards. He's a big Atlanta Braves fan. And he was really happy when the Braves won the World Series in recent years. He went to the championship parade in Atlanta. He roots for the Blue Jays too, though. Like, the Blue Jays are his American League team, and the Braves are his National League team. So those are his two baseball teams. So he does get behind the Jays and follows them because he's very much into baseball. He's a baseball guy. He does play basketball too, and he does love the Raptors, and he does support the Raptors and Scotty. He got to high five Scotty at the game when they went to Atlanta. Scotty was leaving the court, and he high fived my nephew because he was wearing an oversized Raptors hat. You know those huge giant hats that people can get? Well, I gave one to my nephew for Christmas once, and he actually wore it to the Raptors Hawks game in Atlanta, and he was sitting near the entryway, and Scotty high-fived him because he's wearing the oversized Raptors hat. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know. He's more a baseball fan, but he does play basketball, and he does like basketball too. Yeah, Medved Ted saying, wait 100 years, it will be worth a fortune then. I don't know. I don't know. Like, what is this anyway? It's just fun to collect, right? Does it have to be about the money? Let's just say it's cool that I have a Belle Biv DeVoe Yo MTV Raps card. It's just cool. All right, you got Belle Biv DeVoe. That's kind of cool. Yeah. W Stream, thank you, Fiercely. All right, let me do the wrap up and the rundown real quick. If we were going to beat the Phoenix Mercury tonight, Tempo, let's have a shootout in the desert, 3-point shootout. Let's beat them at the 3-point line, like our friend Lego said earlier. Yeah, let's get on the boards. No second chance shots for Mac and Thomas. Thomas and Mac center in Phoenix. No, we ain't letting them go in there and get that stuff. You got to stop them, Izzy and Temmie. That's right. You got to stop them. Kiki Rice, bounce back from last night. You didn't have a very good game against the Aces last night. It's the Mercury. Let's go take it to them tonight. And I hope y'all aren't too tired after having to play a back-to-back and travel. That could be another factor in tonight's game, is the exhaustion of the third game in 4 nights against the Mercury. And this is by design. The very evil schedule makers for the WNBA and the MNBA. Yeah, very evil people that make these schedules. That's right. That make these people go through this. All right, real quick. Here's my recap preview for tonight. Brittany Sykes is out. Marina Mabry is out. Anissa Morrow is out. Niara Sabli is out. Julie Alamond is out. Maria Conde is out. The rest of the Tempo are available. Isabel Harrison, Kiki Rice, Laura Yescada, Temmie Fagbenle, Kia Nurse. I think that's going to be the starting 5. Yeah. And on the other side of things, there are injuries for Phoenix. Kelsey Plum is out. Yovana Nogic has disappeared. Valerian Ayayi has gone to play for a FIBA team, so she's suspended on her contract temporarily. So is Linskens of Belgium. She's with Julie, so she's not playing for Phoenix. And Marta Suarez is coming back from concussion protocol and could be playing today, but maybe still held out due to that. Our referees for today are Kevin Fahey, who's a good ref for us. 2-3 is our record this season with him. The referee is Amy Bonner. We're 2-2 with her. And Kelsey Reynolds. We're 2-3 with Kelsey Reynolds. So an overall record of 6-8 with the referees, which is not bad considering. It's a good ref crew. Yeah. Last night, the Tempo lost the aces. My 3 stars of the game were Laura Yasqueta, Kiana Williams, and Ornella Bencol, with an honorable mention for Isabel Harrison. Yeah. So, yeah, we're out. It's 2 hours right on the dot. I'll see y'all tomorrow for reaction to the Phoenix game tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I mean, I'm glad it's later for them to have more time, but in some ways, it'd be nice if it was an earlier game. But, yeah, they need rest and recovery from flying. So 10 p.m. Eastern once again tonight for Phoenix Mercury, Toronto Tempo. I know. I'm sick of West Coast road trip times. Ugh, they suck. All right, I'll be back. We'll react to this stuff tomorrow. And yeah, check out the Raptors 905 schedule. And if you want to come to a Raptors 905 game with me in November or December, let us know. And we'll come in and we'll go. That's right. W Stream, W Community. Thank you, Kaz. Kaz is kicking my ass in the fantasy. And I'm going to be going out. He's going to the championship against you, Fiercey. I can tell. I'm trying. It's a valiant effort with 2 more nights, but I don't know if I can make up the difference at this point. I did make up some of it yesterday, but not enough. All right, I'm out. Let's go Tempo and beat the Mercury tonight. Let's get a dozen. Let's get a dozen wins for Sandy. That's right. Let's end this part of the season on a good note, going into the FIBA break, and get the W over Phoenix and win the season series too, because it's 1-1 with Phoenix, and the winner takes all tonight in the season series of 3. So let's win the game tonight just to win the season series against Phoenix, because that's a nice thing to do. All right, let's go Tempo.